Ladies and gentlemen, the situation is serious. The situation is very, very serious. France is determined. France and the United Kingdom are determined to show Russia what Europe is capable of. Despite the French economy being in decline, Emmanuel Macron does not want to give in. His Minister of Foreign, his Minister of the Armed Forces, Sébastien Lecornu, who yesterday threatened the Russian Federation not to cross the red line, which is to demilitarize Ukraine. Sébastien Lecornu, the French Minister of the Armed Forces, has just reactivated one of the most dangerous and indeed deadly missiles that Europe currently possesses, the formidable missile which is widely known as SCALP, or alternatively, Storm Shadow. For our African brothers, those of you who are used to listening to DJ Arafat's music, his soul rest in peace, has one of his songs that is very popular. At the beginning, he starts with scalp. You hear scalp. Yeah, that's the name of this missile. It's dangerous. But for more than 15 years, France had stopped producing this missile. But this is what they have just restarted because they need to be ready to face Russia. I'm telling you, these people are getting ready. Even though they don't have a war economy, they don't even have an economy to live, to survive. They prefer to invest in a war economy. The Storm Shadow missile, SCALP EG, is an extremely powerful missile. And so they certainly want to start competing with and rivaling Russia's Iskander missiles. Since Russia has Iskanders, the Rakenik, and what else? Kinjal, they also want to equip themselves with their own extremely dangerous missile. Preparations are underway. We have just recently seen Europe's largest port, Rotterdam, begin to get ready to face the chosen situation, to prepare for war. So, on every level, Europe is getting ready. But it's the three S, remember this, the three E's, France, Germany, and the United Kingdom, who are leading the way. Ladies and gentlemen, let's dive deeper. This SCALP missile is dangerous. But is it more dangerous than the Oveshnik Iskander or Kinza? Question mark. Before we go deeper, I humbly ask you to like, leave a comment, and share the video conference as much as possible. And if this is your first time coming across my video conference, you should subscribe. That way, you won't miss any of my video conferences. And for all subscribers, please remember to activate the notification bell. According to official information, after a 15-year pause, France has asked the British company MBDA to resume production of the Storm Shadow SCALP cruise missiles. These are cruise missiles. And France advocates for the militarization of Europe. Emmanuel Macron and Keir Starmer believe that these missiles, which they consider extremely lethal, need to be modernized. Yes, instead of thinking about building a path to peace and global stability, Europe is instead seeking to put the entire world on the road to destruction and ruin. That's what this is all about. So, it was during his visit to London that the French Minister of the Armed Forces, Sébastien Lecornu, announced that his country had placed a new order for SCALP EG missiles. They placed an order. Yes. And this is the first time in 15 years. So, and this missile, according to what we've learned, when they supplied it to Ukraine, they have already supplied the SCALP missile to Ukraine. According to the French Minister of the Armed Forces, the Franco-British SCALP Storm Shadow missile has demonstrated its effectiveness for modern high-intensity combat in decisive situations. Here is what he wrote on X. Read this. The production of SCALP missiles to equip our forces will resume this year, 15 years after our last order. At the MBDA UK site, specifically located in Stevenage, I am present with my esteemed counterpart, John Healey, who is a member of parliament. This is the very location where these important items are meticulously produced and manufactured. A portion of these missiles. So this is what he announced. Now, what should be said is that the exact number of missiles the French army possesses remains unknown to the general public. Yeah, no one knows the exact number. Nevertheless, since the beginning of the conflict in Ukraine, France has sent at least 90 SCALP missiles to Kiev. So if no one knows, that means that's what they've sent there. That's it. They don't have anything else left. They had kept these in reserve for 15 years. So now they are in a vulnerable position. French defense is now vulnerable. And to address this, new orders need to be placed. About 50 were shipped in May 2023. In January 2024, Macron announced the delivery of 40 additional SCALP missiles to Ukraine. So London has also transferred part of its arsenal to Kiev in unknown quantities. We don't know how many they sent. So the SCALP missile is the result of collaboration between France and the United Kingdom. Yes. And it's an air-launched missile with a range of 250 kilometers, designed in the 1990s by Matra and British Aerospace. They fly at over 1,000 kilometers per hour. Yes, at 30 meters altitude. So they want the new version of the SCALP to be more destructive. So neither the United Kingdom nor France is hiding their intention to modernize the missiles. The United Kingdom and France will order even deadlier cruise missiles, while stepping up efforts to implement their replacement as part of an agreement signed on the 10th of July. So it's today, the 10th of July, they signed this agreement. So they're getting ready. And the new agreement stipulates that the United Kingdom and France are, of course, committing to launch the next phase of their joint deep strike and anti-ship missile project, marking another step towards selecting the final model intended to replace the Storm Shadow. Here is the conclusion they gave. So the world is getting ready. And I don't know, meanwhile, what is Africa doing? And so, ladies and gentlemen, that was the top international news. Please share it as much as possible. I'll be back with more news shortly. This was the voice of your one and only Samouraï.